I'm spinning it as good as I ever have. It's jumping off my hand as good as it ever has before. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to be my whole career. City of Cincinnati, we have the best fans, and so this is where I want to be.
Fox 19 now starts with breaking news.
And it is big breaking news right now at 10. The deal is done. ESPN insider Adam Schefter reporting that Joe Burrow is now the highest paid player in the NFL. Thanks for joining us at 10. I'm Trisha Mackey.
And I'm Rob Williams. NFL fans have been waiting for this announcement, and it finally comes just days before the season opener.
We have team coverage. Jeremy Rouse in studio breaking down the deal.
And our Chancellor Wynn is live from Paycor Stadium with reaction from fans.
Sports director Joe D is going to be joining us a little bit later on in the show.
Now let's start with Jeremy. What are the details of this deal?
Yeah, guys, big day for the sports guy on the job. This broke within the last 90 minutes. Joe Burrow is now, as you said, the highest paid player in NFL history. 5-year deal worth $275 million, according to ESPN and NFL media. I can also confirm through a league source, myself, the deal is, yes, done. Joe Burrow makes NFL history after leading the Bengals to a Super Bowl and back-to-back AFC title games in the last 2 seasons. He also led them to back-to-back division titles. And this is very important. This is a contract extension. That means Burrow is now signed for the next 7 years through 2029. Joe Burrow is going to be 32 years old by then. So much rejoicing in Cincinnati right now. These are the details according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Again, 5 years, $275, $55 million a year over those 5 years. Here's the big number. $219 million guaranteed for the Bengals star quarterback. No player in Bengals history has ever come close to that. We spoke with Joe Burrow yesterday, and his first press conference in 6 weeks. I wanted to ask Joe about his long-term future here. This is the kind of answer that meant Joe knew he was going to be here a long time.
Yeah, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be my whole career. We're working towards making that happen. You've seen what the front office has done and what Zach has done in their time here, and I'm a small part of that. And, I'm excited to be a part of that. And we have great people in the locker room that grind every day, that, are excited to go and showcase their talents and excited to do it in the city of Cincinnati. We have the best fans. And so this is where I want to be.
There was concern around getting this done before the season opener on Sunday. The Bengals get it done with a few days to spare and a season with real Super Bowl hopes. This is only part of the story. Can you hear it? That is all of Cincinnati celebrating tonight. Chancellor Wynn is hanging out downtown. He joins us live right now with more. Hey, Chance.
Jeremy, it's not shocking at all, but when I heard the news, I actually got a tweet on my phone from Adam Schefter. I looked up from the Fox 19 car. Directly in front of our car was a man wearing a Joe Burrow jersey. Of course, we jumped right outside, immediately started talking to him. He had yet to hear the news yet, but like many Bengals fans we've been speaking to tonight, very, very excited. Not too concerned with the numbers. They're just happy to know that their team leader, their quarterback, is going to be here in Cincinnati playing for the Bengals for, as you mentioned, Jeremy, the next 7 years. And I actually want to pitch out to a soundbite from that gentleman who we saw wearing that Joe Burrow jersey, because one of the things that really stood out to me from hearing his reaction was not just about keeping Joe Burrow here in Cincinnati wearing the black and the orange, but it's about how much Joe Burrow is truly a leader of this team.
Oh my gosh, it's been just unbelievable. He is the man. He knows how to go on and tolerate them. He knows how to speak to people. He knows how to be gentle with people.
And everybody by storm. So there was lots of reaction, including the Bengals tweeting out a picture of Joe Burrow with a fun face reacting, and Joe Mixon actually retweeting that saying, "Load up the Brinks truck." Not the only reaction on Twitter. Skip Bayless, he's a controversial figure when it comes to sports, but he says, "Congrats to Joe Burrow, the NFL's best QB." And then even better, Adam Schefter going into detail about Joe Burrow's rise, his claim to fame over the last 5 years, starting in college at the Louisiana State University where he won the national championship. 2020, drafted #1 overall. 2021, named Comeback Player of the Year, and reaches the Super Bowl. 2022 reaches AFC Championship game, and now in 2023, Joe Burrow lands the biggest contract in NFL history. So, of course, over these next 7 years, I'm going to be following Adam Schefter's Twitter account just to see if he is going to update that. We know what happened from 2019 to 2023, so now I'm very curious to see what happens throughout 2023 and over the next 7 years. Of course, we're going to be following along with fan reaction and more Twitter reaction throughout tonight's newscast. But for now, reporting live from Paycor, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 19 Now.
Well, Jeremy, you're over here now. We were wondering when it was going to get done. Everybody was wondering when this was going to get done. I mean, they're certainly showing him the respect that I think everybody was hoping they would.
They certainly are. And look, you're kind of waiting. You saw the dominoes falling with the other quarterbacks getting paid and wondering when Joe Burrow might get his. I was told as long as 2 months ago that Joe Burrow was addressed about this, how it would look, his press conference, what he wanted to wear for it once he got signed, all of that. And he hasn't signed the contract yet. All terms have been agreed to. The hope would be he signs on Friday and possibly might have another press conference. But this has been in the works for a long time. But there were some minor details. One of those things was the guaranteed money, $219 million guaranteed. Before this, as far as the Bengals go, the most guaranteed money a player ever got was Orlando Brown Jr., $31 million earlier this year. So you go from $31 million guaranteed to $219 million guaranteed. And what that means is for a player, no matter what happens, injuries, you guys get it, that money is guaranteed. That was the key cog in this, and Joe Burrow's camp got that. He deserves that, and right now, he is a superstar in Cincinnati. He is a franchise-changing player and a guy that's going to shape the future of the franchise. They had to get this done.
Absolutely. I mean, since he's been on this team, the fortunes have changed, so he deserves every penny of that contract, and especially that $219 million guaranteed.
It really does, and it paves the way for a lot of things. Tricia, we talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
Why do they have to get it done now? Because
he still had a contract.
They could have waited at least another year to really put pressure on this. But now that it's done, you can see the next 7 years. And Joe Burrow signed now through 2029. You can start thinking about deals like T. Higgins. We don't know yet if T. Higgins is going to get that deal, if he's going to stay in Cincinnati long term. We still don't know that, but you can start thinking about that more seriously. Even if it's not before the season opener on Sunday, it sets the table for things like that and even Jamar Chase next.
And you know who else it sets the table for? Everybody that's coming in to play Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like a big target. Yeah, that's my man. I can play with him. I can hang with him, that kind of stuff.
100%.
100%. I mean, and they knew it, and they knew they had to give him the money, but I mean, they're going to want to beat us even more now.
I know.
Joe Burrow has attracted so many players to Cincinnati in the last couple of years. And I already mentioned Orlando Brown Jr., a guy like that who has won a Super Bowl with Kansas City, had a chance to try to run it back this year and stay with Patrick Mahomes. He said he wanted to play.
What's Patrick Mahomes offhand, by the way?
What's he making?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know the exact numbers right now.
Too.
I want to say it's around $50 million a year, if I remember right, for Patrick Mahomes. I think he's right in that ballpark.
Does he have the guaranteed money now?
He doesn't have the same amount as guaranteed.
Okay.
So the guaranteed money is not quite like Joe Burrow's, and that's what changes this. But a guy like Orlando Brown Jr. wanted to come here and play with Joe Burrow and try to extend his legacy here in Cincinnati to try to win a title with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has that way about him with guys. And so you might say, is the money worth it as far as how much he's getting paid? Did the Bengals do the right thing here that Joe Burrow is getting this much guaranteed money? Think about the money that Joe Burrow has already made the Cincinnati Bengals, the impact economically in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, what he brings here. And as you already said, the players he can bring here as well. He is more than worth the money, even though it does sound like a lot of money for sure.
Yeah. Tell you what.
Worth it.
I'm glad.
Me too.
Mentally, it's done. Good for him.
He can move on. He said on Wednesday he wasn't worried about the money, the contract. He was going to play no matter what. But to have that done, to be able to move on, certainly I think as a player, you can kind of check that off.
Yeah.
Buy a few new houses if you need to and a couple of Porsches. He's already got a Porsche that he drives to work every day. But certainly he can move on with football and not worry about the business side of things.
A major distraction out of the way.
Out of the way. We're all Cincinnati.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, so this is a story we have been covering. Obviously, we're going to continue to follow it. We'll bring you the latest developments, both on air and online, 24/7 at fox19.com.
Let's give you a live look outside. Some sprinkles out there
Sure
as
were.
I was driving back after dinner.
Yeah, and kind of muggy.
Yeah, muggy as well, Steve.
Yeah, the humidity's on its way down. It's going to drop over the next 24 hours, and it's going to be very comfortable for the weekend. But it's still kind of one of those slow changes going on. Right now, temperatures upper 60s to lower 70s around the tri-state. There's been a little bit of sprinkly shower activity. You can see it right here. That's what they just mentioned, and it's dying out as it moves south and eastward. If we zoom in a little bit, you can see there's not much left of it. From Switzerland and Ohio counties back through the Versailles area up to south of Greensburg. That's the last of the sprinkle activity. It looks like a dry morning commute. 7:04 a.m., upper 50s to lower 60s. No rain in the area. That's good news. I don't think we'll see any big problems from that during the day. Temperatures actually dropping off into the lower 60s. I've got sunrise at 7:13, and then we've got a very nice weekend ahead, and we'll talk about it in detail when I come back.
And 2 men in Whitney Hills have been rushed to UC Medical Center after a double shooting. Those live details coming up.
Plus, we are staying on top of exciting breaking news tonight as the Bengals get ready to open the season this weekend. Joe Burrow has inked a record-setting deal to stay a Bengal. Joe D is going to join us live over the phone to talk about more details coming up.
Dehydrated hair?
Hyaluronic acid for your hair.
New Elvive Hyaluron Plump by L'Oreal Paris. With hyaluronic acid to lock in moisture and hydrate for up to 72 hours. Elvive Hyaluron Plump from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
Hey, it's me, your skin. Some cleansers get us clean, but take my moisture. CeraVe cleansers help me maintain my moisture balance with hyaluronic acid plus 3 essential ceramides to help restore my natural barrier. So we're CeraVe clean.
CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Managing your diabetes can feel like a full-time job. The MiniMed 780G is the only system with meal detection technology that adjusts and corrects sugars every 5 minutes, so you can put your worries to rest. Hey, it's me, your skin. Some cleansers get us clean, but take my moisture. CeraVe cleansers help me maintain my moisture balance with hyaluronic acid plus 3 essential ceramides to help restore my natural barrier. So we're CeraVe clean.
CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser.
Dehydrated hair?
Hyaluronic acid for your hair.
New Elvive Hyaluron Plump by L'Oreal Paris. With hyaluronic acid to lock in moisture and hydrate for up to 72 hours. Elvive Hyaluron Plump from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
Make banking a Fifth Third better. Now Tricia Mackey, Rob Williams, and Chief Meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer. You're watching Fox 19 now.
So we're staying on top of breaking news tonight. It's a done deal with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. These are the details, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter tonight. It is 5 years extension for $275 million. You can see that this would make him the highest paid player in the NFL.
Now we have some breaking news to get to tonight. Police are on the scene of a shooting in Elmwood Place.
Kendall Hyde's there live with some more details for us.
That's right. Things are starting to clear up here in Winton Hills, but as I take a quick step out of the camera, you get to see what this scene is looking like. We have yellow tape still standing in the area and one police car still here on Dutch Colony Drive. Now, CPD has confirmed with us that this shooting involved an 18-year-old and 25-year-old. The 18-year-old was shot in the wrist while the 25-year-old was shot in the shoulder. Both men are said to have non-life-threatening injuries, according to CPD. However, the 25-year-old was shot and drove himself to Elmwood Place, and that's where his car stopped, and police found him and took him to UC Medical Center and towed his car. The 18-year-old is also at UC Medical Center. Once again, these details that we have for you are live and up to date. This shooting happened here on the sidewalk of Dutch Colony Drive. We learned from police that the shooting involved the 18-year-old and 25-year-old. The 18-year-old was shot in the wrist, while the 25-year-old was shot in the shoulder. Now, we don't know what led up to this shooting at this time. We're still learning more details for you, but we will provide you up-to-date details as we learn more throughout the night. For now, in Winton Hills, Kendall Hyde, Fox 19 Now.
Kendall, thank you very much. New tonight, a Butler County mother is behind bars, charged with child endangerment after police say her 3-year-old daughter was found wandering alone in a parking lot.
Simone Jameson spoke with a man police say found that child and then reported the incident.
Yeah, these details you see only right here on Fox 19 Now.
Yeah, that's right, Trisha. Rob, Yam Adikari tells me he had stopped into this Nepali and Indian grocery store on Tylersville Road Tuesday evening to grab food when he noticed a little girl was following him. He tells me it then led to a frantic search for her parents, which led to police arresting 31-year-old Denavia Norville. Yam Adikari says he was stopping by the Nepali and Indian grocery store on Tylersville Road Tuesday night when things took an unexpected turn.
I have seen a little baby. She was coming towards me and she hugged me and said hi. I tried to look just around there. I didn't see anybody.
The father of 3 says his first thought when he saw a little girl wearing only a diaper, who Fairfield Township police say was 3 years old, was that she was playing with other kids, but there were none. Adikari says he then took the little girl by her hand and walked all across the lot in search of her parents.
I went to the store, inside the store, and I asked the storeman, and did you see anybody playing with this kid? And they said, he was thinking that that kid was mine. And I said, it's not my kid, maybe she's missing. And we need to call the parents or we need to call the police to find out.
Adikari says that's when he called 911, and a short time after, Fairfield Township police arrested 31-year-old Denavia Norville, who they say is the child's mother, and charged her with child endangerment. Police reports showed Norville had an existing warrant for an incident on April 6th, where police say the child was left alone in the same parking lot on Tylersville Road that Adikari found her Tuesday.
All human beings should have a good heart to help other people. That's my responsibility. My first priority is to take care of the kids first.
Adikari says his father instincts kicked into high gear when he saw the little girl wandering alone and expects that anyone in his shoes would respond the same way.
I didn't think anything about it. So I just wanted to help. That's it. I have 3 girls.
You were a little scared too then, right?
I was scared, yeah. I was scared. Maybe they think that I'm just taking the kid from the home or from the market or something like that, but I'm not like that. My request to the parents is we need to be careful about the kids and don't leave them anywhere. Don't lose them like animals.
Now, Adikari says he is thankful he was able to see the little girl and call for help before something bad happened to her. Now the child's mother, Denavia Norville, is being held at the Butler County Jail in connection to this incident. Live in Hamilton, Simone Jameson, Fox 19 Now.
Simone, thank you very much. Back to the big breaking news story of the night. Joe Burrow is getting a 5-year contract extension.
According to ESPN Insider Adam Schefter, this deal is going to make him the highest paid player in the NFL.
Sports Director Jody is joining us now over the phone. Joe, what stuck out to you the most when you heard the details of this deal?
Well, Robert, Tricia, we knew what the ballpark annual average salary for Joe would be after we saw what Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, they're all getting low $50 million per year. But when you see that $55 million per year, and you start stacking it up with other athletes across the world, Joe Burrow is now the 7th highest paid athlete in the world per year. He's on a list with Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo and Formula One drivers. He's obviously now the highest paid per year NFL player ever. But when you see that $55 million on a list, guys, he's making more per year than Steph Curry now. That's the kind of money that Joe Burrow got with this contract. And to me, it continues to debunk this national narrative of what the Bengals are, what they'll pay and what the organization is about. We've seen it now for a few years that this organization is different. They understood the moment. They understood what they have in Joe Burrow, and they've completely changed who they are ever since they've gotten him. But that $55 million per year is just an eye-opener, an eye-popper to me, even though, as Jeremy talked about in our first segment, the $219 million guaranteed is the reason the contract is agreed upon. But the 55 year puts him on a list of the most rare air of athletes in the entire world.
Hey, Joe, pushing back on that right there, I know even when we were in Kansas City covering the game last year, a lot of people threw a lot of shade on him saying, yeah, he's worth a lot of money, but he's unproven. And those athletes you just talked about, Messi and the top players in the world, Steph Curry, they are proven athletes. So what do you say to those people in Kansas City or other places that are saying, yeah, that's too much money for somebody that hasn't proven himself yet?
Well, I'll say this. Patrick Mahomes makes $45 million a year, and there's maybe one or two quarterbacks on the planet right now who can walk into a room and say, I'm as good as him or just right there with him. And Joe Burrow is that person because he's proven it. He's done it in the biggest moments. He's beaten them 3 times, including one in the AFC Championship on Patrick Mahomes' home field, and was one drive, one play, one kick, maybe one penalty last year from doing it again. So I understand the argument people would make that Joe Burrow hasn't won the MVP. He hasn't won the Super Bowl to this point. But people who watch Joe Burrow know. They know he's different. They know he can walk on the field and compete, throw for throw, play for play with Patrick Mahomes. And if he's the standard, and he is the standard right now, and Joe Burrow said that recently, that Patrick Mahomes is the standard in the NFL, if Joe Burrow's right there with him, play for play, he's worth every penny.
What do you think's changed, Joe? 10 years ago, fans complained about how the owners of this team wouldn't spend money, and now they just landed the richest deal in all of the NFL. What do you think's changed?
I think the Bengals understood what they had when they got Joe Burrow, and they understood they had to change to compete with the market. And we've seen this team now. It's not just saying it. It's literally putting the money where their mouth is by selling the naming rights to the stadium, by selling the naming rights to the practice field, by selling the naming rights to the bubble, to create any kind of cash flow they can to keep Joe Burrow. And now it's on keeping Jamar Chase and keeping T. Higgins, because we're going to have Charlie Goldsmith from the Inquirer in studio here in just a few segments, and he's going to tell you what he told me recently, and that's the Bengals are in the Joe, Jamar, and T business. That's what's made them different. So to answer your question, Rob, I think the Bengals understood what they had was rare, and the only way you can keep rare is to become rare yourself. And they started doing things they've never done before, and I think that was important for the team, not only to send a message to the rest of the league, which I think the rest of the league now has seen tonight, but send a message to their own fan base that they were going to be different. And we've seen that with the naming rights and trying to create any kind of cash flow they have. And they've used that cash flow now to keep the most important athlete this city has seen in a really long time, and to keep him happy, and to keep Joe Burrow happy. And by keeping Joe Burrow happy, you might be able to keep those weapons here with him for a long time.
Yeah, those weapons are going to continue to come. They want to play with him. Jody, thanks, man.
Again, we're going to keep following the story for you. We're on air and, of course, online at fox19.com.
Yeah, let's do it. 67 degrees right now. We're looking out over the river at downtown Cincinnati, and right there on the edge of the screen, Paycor Stadium. So it's a beautiful, beautiful night out there. Shower activity is going away. We're going to have a little bit of humidity hanging about until tomorrow morning, and then it does begin to drop off, giving us a good weekend. Temperatures now in the upper 60s to lower 70s on personal weather stations. There is what's left of that shower activity that came through the tri-state. And if we zoom in, you can tell by the color that it's just sprinkly stuff, and there's just not much of it left in the area. So take a look at this. Now, pay attention to what happens with the dew points, still in the 60s, so you feel the humidity. There's the rainfall in the area. As we head into tomorrow, there's a chance for a sprinkle popping up during the afternoon. As we head through the weekend, look at those dew point temperatures in the comfortable 50s and low 60s. It looks like it's going to be, well, maybe next Tuesday night into Wednesday before we see any significant rainfall. Then after that, there's not much more rain coming our way for a while. So a very dry pattern and a cooler pattern with dew points down into the 40s occasionally, and that means comfortable weather coming to the tri-state for the foreseeable future, beyond the 7-day forecast, as a matter of fact. 7:13 is when the sun comes up, 62 degrees at 7 a.m. It'll be a nice way to start the day with a dry roads around the tri-state. And your 7-day looks like this. Low tonight, 61, high tomorrow, 76. Clouds will be on the decrease. 59 and 78 for Saturday. Now, Saturday, we are talking about partly cloudy skies and low humidity. On Sunday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and low humidity. And as a matter of fact, the Reds play each of those days. That's the end of their homestand on Sunday. And if you're heading down to Great American Ballpark Friday for Fireworks Friday, it looks like this. First pitch at 6:40 with 73 degrees. By the end of the game, dropping off to about 68, and that's when the fireworks start. So a gorgeous, gorgeous evening, not only at Great American Ballpark for the Fireworks Friday celebration, but for high school football wherever you go. So 59 and 82, mostly sunny on Monday. On Tuesday, we're looking at a high of 77 with a few isolated showers or storms. 73 and isolated showers or storms on Wednesday. And then Thursday, mostly sunny, dry and nice again. But overall, this entire 7-day stretch, the humidity does not look at all like the summer humidity we've had lately. I'll be back in a little while, and we'll go beyond the 7-day forecast.
And we are going to continue to follow this breaking news, this done deal between the Bengals and star quarterback Joe Burrow. We've been waiting on the news for a while. Tonight, we learned they have agreed to a 5-year, $275 million extension. That's according to ESPN Adam Schefter. Coming up at 10:30, Jeremy's going to sit down with Charlie Goldsmith from The Enquirer, talk a little bit more about the deal.
Dehydrated hair?
Hyaluronic acid for your hair.
New Elvive Hyaluron Plump by L'Oreal Paris. With hyaluronic acid to lock in moisture and hydrate for up to 72 hours. Elvive Hyaluron Plump from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
Catch live local streaming TV, free at viewit.com or on the Viewit app. Stream content from your favorite stations here and across the country. Plus, watch exclusive events and original programming all in one place from your favorite device. Keep up to date with what's happening in your community with news, weather, prep sports, and more.
In today's Living Right, here's what you should do to up your workout routine.
Search View It in your app store and download for free today.
Dehydrated hair?
Hyaluronic acid for your hair.
New Elvive Hyaluron Plump by L'Oreal Paris. With hyaluronic acid to lock in moisture and hydrate for up to 72 hours. Elvive Hyaluron Plump from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
Catch live local streaming TV, free at viewit.com or on the Viewit app. Stream content from your favorite stations here and across the country. Plus, watch exclusive events and original programming all in one place from your favorite device. Keep up to date with what's happening in your community with news, weather, prep sports, and more.
In today's Living Right, here's what you should do to up your workout routine.
Search View It in your app store and download for free today.
Player in the NFL.
Jeremy Rowell joins us again in studio with special guest. Jeremy?
A very special guest. Look at me at my cell phone right here like I'm Adam Schefter, ready for a text any second. Charlie Goldsmith of the Cincinnati Enquirer, kind enough to come in at 10:30 at night to talk about Joe Burrow and his new 5-year extension worth $275 million. So Charlie, you're very cerebral in the way you describe things, and I always love that about you. So let's break this down. What stands out the most to you about this extension?
one thing matters about the extension, and Joe Burrow is going to be with the Bengals through 2029. Where were the Bengals before Burrow? They were a team that was a laughingstock, that had a reputation around the league for not doing things a certain way. In a lot of ways, they handed the keys over to Burrow. Burrow brought some players with him that wanted to join the Bengals because of him. He helped change a locker room perception. He showed the Bengals what they could be on offense. Zach Taylor scrapped what he thought he'd be designing and did everything around Burrow. Now he has them. They're not just Super Bowl contenders this year. They're one of the teams that's the envy of the NFL and really a model franchise around the league.
And we were talking offset. Charlie, you made such a good point because there are Bengals fans who, before 2021, could go back about 3 decades of watching this team and hoping for something that was never delivered. And now with him being signed through 2029, it changes fandom for a lot of people.
The question now isn't, is Joe Burrow going to win a Super Bowl? I think the better question is how many. There is an expectation level. Burrow is at that level. He demands that from his teammates. And I could give you an example of 4 or 5 players on the Bengals who have risen the level of where they are because of the expectation and the demands that Joe Burrow has. He is the epitome of a franchise quarterback for a team, also for a city that has really just followed Burrow completely and followed the tone he sets for the organization.
And to think about that, there's this, generation of fans that get to watch this team win now for a decade, it feels like, right? And even beyond that, because as you mentioned to me, once we get to 2029 and Joe Burrow's 32 years old, it's not like he's just going to walk out the door. He's an Ohio kid who is now here through 2029 and might just, as he said, stay here his entire career.
Let's play a game for a second. What if Joe Burrow was a free agent right now?
Yeah.
But where would he rather be?
Yeah.
He is a coach who knows exactly how to design an offense around him. The best skill position group in football. They just signed their franchise left tackle. The offensive line is young, physical, and athletic. They have a defense that knows how to build itself.
Yeah.
Kind of through rookie, younger guys, which you need with the quarterback making that much. There is nowhere that Joe Burrow would rather want to be, and there's nowhere else he's going to be.
We have about 30 seconds, Charlie, and again, you're awesome to come in and do this. So I think people are already moving towards, okay, what about T. Higgins? I'll ask you this to finish. Do you feel like there is wiggle room still to possibly try to get a Higgins deal done in the future at some point here?
When you look at how it's worked for the other quarterbacks making this much, your Josh Allen's, your Patrick Mahomes's, they've been able to fit in multiple superstars. You'll probably have to build a cheaper defense at positions like cornerback or safety, but the Bengals do have the resources to keep their stars together. They're in the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins business. I think they're built to keep this together for the long run.
Wow, how about that from Charlie Goldsmith? Okay, he is Charlie Goldsmith of the Cincinnati Enquirer, again, kind enough to come into Fox 19 now at 10:30 and talk about a record-breaking deal with Joe Burrow. Charlie, thanks.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, back to you.
Jeremy, I love those takes. I mean, that's good stuff, Charlie. Smart man. I mean, that's good takes. Okay, this is a story we're covering. We're going to continue to do so. We'll bring you the latest developments, both on air and online, 24/7 at fox19.com.
New tonight, the mother of 3 children and their great-grandmother are facing charges after the children were found to be near fatalities due to starvation.
That is according to the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office.
Kendall Hyde has more.
Now, those kids never saw the light of day. Like, they were, like, ghost white because they've never seen sun since they were born.
We're hearing from neighbors of Hannah and Diana Johnson after they were indicted on child endangerment charges.
So you would actually see those kids, am I correct?
In the window. I've seen them a couple times, yes.
What would they be doing? Would they wave at you or anything?
No, they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't say anything. Tell me it was kind of awkward in the window. Like, they wouldn't talk. They wouldn't say anything. They would see me, though. But even though I waved, it would never be, like, no emotion at all.
Amy Clausen with the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office tells Fox 19, Hannah and her 3 kids, along with Diana, all lived together in the home on Halsey Avenue. Cincinnati police responded to Johnson's home for reports of a suspicious odor. Officers say they never saw the kids and were told that the odor came from a dead raccoon underneath the porch, so they left.
The cop had told my husband that one of the kids was being starved. And that surprised me because I see her take groceries in all the time.
Prosecutors say the next day, Hannah took her 3 kids, ages 7, 6, and 4, to her mother's home in Tennessee. That's where the mother noticed that the kids looked a little bit too skinny and rushed them to the hospital. Prosecutors say that all the kids weighed under 30 pounds and were so malnourished that they nearly starved to death.
We got to do better to protect these kids at the end of the day. We got to protect them.
Thursday, a grand jury not only indicted Hannah, but also Diana, who prosecutors say is the paternal grandmother of the kids, who is also facing 3 counts of child endangerment.
I just wish, when her husband died, I just wish she would have asked for help, because we were here for her, and we were like, I always told her if she needed anything, let me know, so.
And that's our Kendall Hyde reporting. Hannah Johnson is also facing 3 counts of kidnapping. Prosecutors say the 3 kids will be at the hospital for months recovering. This story is new at 10. A teen accused of killing his newborn son will be tried as an adult. According to our partners at the Cincinnati Enquirer, the judge made that ruling today. Akani Bridges was 18 days old when he was found unresponsive in September. He was rushed to the hospital where he died 40 days later. His parents were both 17 at the time. His father, now 18, Kamaine Kelvin Bridges, is charged with murder, felonious assault, child endangering. He says the baby choked on milk and stopped breathing, but prosecutors say doctors determined a neck injury and brain trauma caused his death. A judge set his bond at $50,000.
So we're going to stay put on this breaking news tonight as the Bengals get ready to open the season this weekend, and Joe Burrow inking a record-setting deal to stay a Bengal. Fans have been waiting for this a long time. Tonight, we learned that Burrow and the Bengals have agreed to a 5-year, $275 million extension. That is according to ESPN Adam Schefter. The deal is going to make Burrow the highest-paid player in the NFL. Our team coverage is going to continue right here on Fox 19.
The phone because I forgot mine. I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Ring doorbell video capturing a woman going up to a stranger's door asking for help. She tells the homeowner she was being followed by a truck while running through the neighborhood. In the video, you can actually see that truck slowly driving by in the background if you look right there.
There was a truck chasing her through our neighborhood, and they were kind of going back and forth. I guess she had tried to dodge him quite a few times. If she didn't run to our door that night and she just kept trying to run or was afraid that someone wouldn't answer, who knows what would have happened to her.
It's weird, right? Homeowners were able to get in touch with the woman's family and got her to safety.
And weather-wise, still a little bit of cloud cover coming through the tri-state. The chance for a sprinkle tomorrow. If things are looking good for the weekend, we'll detail what you can expect from tomorrow evening through Sunday when I come back.
The investigation into an officer-involved shooting that killed an Ohio family dog is over. We'll tell you what's next for the officer and the dog's owner.
Staying on top of this because you can't deny this is heck good news.
It's huge and it's exciting.
It's a done deal. The timing superb. Just as the Chiefs were kicking off, we found out that Joe Burrow is staying put with the Bengals. These are the details according to ESPN's Adam Schefter tonight. 5 years extension, $275 million. That would make him the highest paid player in the NFL.
New information now. The Middletown Police Department is getting closer to adding cameras to its cruisers.
During this week's City Council meeting, members entered into a contract with Provision. The company will install 4 in-cruiser camera systems to Middletown's patrol vehicles. We're also told the department will begin using 12 body cams, possibly this week into the weekend. The police chief tells the Butler County Journal-News that body cams for all uniformed patrol officers will begin later date.
People across the tri-state are stepping up to help a local girl who has brain damage. Aislinn Wiley was diagnosed with a rare genetic condition called Tango 2. She's in a wheelchair and can't eat by mouth. Ashley says they're now working to raise money to send her to a clinic in Mexico that specializes in brain regeneration and treatment of traumatic brain injuries. She says it's not a cure, but the treatment could greatly improve her quality of life. To help them meet their goal, the community has put together multiple fundraisers.
It's emotional and it's life-changing. Just seeing how many people, like our family has reached and how many people Aislinn has reached, it really makes it feel like the pain and, you know, like the trials that we're going through, it makes it feel worth it.
Here's a look at some of those upcoming fundraisers. The next one is a bike rally at the Quaker Stake in Milford this Sunday. On top of those, Ashley, the girl's mother, says they're also selling T-shirts. We have all that information on our website, fox19.com.
I love that the family's feeling the love from the community
Me
because
too.
that helps so much.
Yeah, it really does.
You know, especially in a very bad spot for them.
What can we expect when we wake up tomorrow morning?
It'll still be a little bit humid. It'll be partly to mostly cloudy, and then gradually clearing out and then improving through the day. Okay. So we are talking about a good weekend still. We haven't changed our mind on that yet. There you see it. This is Paycor Stadium, of course. Everybody knows what's going on and why we're showing you Paycor Stadium right now. 67 degrees out there. It's fairly humid, as Rob and Tricia mentioned. 67 degrees. We are looking, again, the visibility has been reduced a little bit because of rain earlier, but it's cleared out quite nicely. And tomorrow morning's commute looks like it'll be trouble-free for you. And a view of downtown Cincinnati from another shot. This is closer in, so you don't see the haze as much, but an absolutely gorgeous looking evening out there, although it still feels a little warm and a little bit humid around the tri-state. Temperatures have dropped off to 64 in Richmond, Middletown 68. We're looking at 72 at the Lunken Airport area and 68 down in Falmouth and Madison. Maysville, you're at 69 degrees. Here's what we're looking at. We're looking at the shower activity pushing southward. That shower activity is coming to an end. Not much of it left. It's more like sprinkles anymore. And then as we look at tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., we are talking about temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s around the tri-state. And that shower activity, again, that we had today may pop back up during the day tomorrow with temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s at 7 a.m. You don't see much in the way of rainfall, but as we go through the day, a few sprinkly showers may pop up, pretty light and not enough to even worry about. But there you see right there in parts of Claremont County, up here in the Wilmington area, a little bit in the Hillsborough area, as we head into the evening, a few hit-and-miss showers and thunderstorms around the tri-state. Sunrise at 7:13. 62 degrees at 7 a.m. with lower humidity than we have right now, so it'll be kind of a nice start to the day with no problems from weather for your morning commute. The Climate Prediction Center is saying that a large area of cooler than normal weather is going to continue through the 17th of September. We're kind of near the center of it here in the Fox 19 Now viewing area. It will continue through the 21st also with cooler than normal weather in the tri-state. That cooler than normal weather will eventually give way to a little bit of a warming trend. So in the 7-day forecast, high temperatures, except for a couple days, will be below normal. As we head into beyond the 7-day, a gradual warming trend taking us back up into the 80s. But again, we're still holding with our forecast of no more 90s until we get into the next summer. Climate Prediction Center also says a dry weather pattern developing over the tri-state right there. Another dry weather pattern through the 21st. So overall, fairly dry weather. You're going to have to continue to water that garden and lawn to get it ready for the winter ahead. So tonight's low 61, high tomorrow 76. Tomorrow is Friday, Fireworks Friday around the tri-state. That Fireworks Friday, temperatures will be around 73 degrees as the game begins. As the game ends around 65, that's when the fireworks will begin. So a great evening, not only for Great American Ballpark, but a great evening as far as the weather goes for high school football also. 80 degrees on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday all look very nice with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in the area Tuesday and Wednesday. And, of course, you can always track it with the First Alert Weather app. We're back right after the break.
Ever wonder if seeing your glucose numbers is really making your life easier? At Medtronic, we think your CGM should do more. Knowing your numbers is great, but what if those numbers could help tell you how much insulin you need? Or better yet, power a system that delivers the insulin for you and adjusts in real time based on your needs. Our CGM powers systems that do more of the work for you. We believe it should work hard, so you don't have to. It's time you ask more of your diabetes technology.
A post on Blink 182's social media has fans talking. A clock flashing 12 with snippets of unreleased songs playing behind it is leading fans to think that their long-awaited new album will be dropping tonight at midnight. This would mark the first time an album the band has released since returning and reuniting with original frontman Tom DeLonge.
Just a reminder, we're going to start honoring those who serve every day here on Fox 19 now. It's something we're calling Salute to Service, and we need to hear from you. If you know someone currently serving or someone who has served, you'd like to give them a shout out, you can scan the QR code on your screen. You can send that information to us and a photo. Remember, you have to include a message along with the photo so we can recognize veterans every day here at Fox 19 now at 4 starting September 11th.
Joe Burrow has signed a major contract extension with the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming up at 11 o'clock, hear how fans here in the Tri-State are reacting, as well as the reactions all over social media.
Plus, an American trapped deep inside a Turkish cave is found, but he's not out of the woods just yet. What he's still dealing with right now.
Why did you do it?
Damn,
I'm
get
suing
back.
you.
Okay, your dog charged me. Get back.
You no, all these people seen that. That dog is harmless.
A Lorraine police officer won't face any charges for shooting a dog. The police chief says an internal investigation cleared the officer, but he will be on modified duty. The dog's owners will also not be charged for not leaving her on a leash. The chief tells WOIO another dog bit that officer in April, and she had to have surgery.
An American trapped in a cave in Turkey speaks after rescuers reach him 3,000 feet below ground. Mark Dickey was on an expedition when he got sick and couldn't get out. He sent a video message saying he's alert and talking, but not fully healed because of bleeding inside his stomach. It's still not clear what caused that. He says he's thankful to his rescuers and supporters all over the world.
This is often in the caving world a great opportunity to show just how well the international world can work together. So I'm hoping to see many people from many countries all coming together.
Crews say it could take days or even weeks to get him out, depending on the conditions and how much rest everyone needs.
A United Auto Workers union strike against Detroit's big three automakers could be closer to happening. The union called General Motors' newest offer insulting. GM offered a 10% raise. The union wants 40%. Union leaders say GM hasn't bargained in good faith for weeks and only came back to the table because the Federal Labor Board filed charges against it. Business experts say a strike could have a big economic impact.
Fox 19 now starts with breaking news.
We're going to continue to track this breaking news at 11. The deal is done. ESPN insider Adam Schefter reporting that Joe Burrow is now the highest paid player in the NFL.
It's the announcement. The NFL has been coming just days before the season opener.
Yeah, they were teasing it that it was going to happen, right? So we have live team coverage. Jeremy Rao is in studio to break down the deal.
Our Chancellor Wynn is live from Paycor Stadium with reaction from fans.
Let's kick it off with Jeremy.
All right, guys, this broke within the last 2 hours. Joe Burrow gets the biggest contract in Cincinnati sports history and breaks the NFL record. 5 years, $275 million, according to ESPN. I can also confirm through a league source, the deal is done. And this is very important. This is a contract extension. That means Burrow is now signed for the next 7 years through the 2029 season. Check out your screen. Here's the big number, $219 million guaranteed for the Bengals star quarterback. We spoke with Joe Burrow yesterday in his first press conference in 6 weeks. I wanted to ask Joe about his long-term future here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be my whole career. We're working towards making that happen. You know, you've seen what the front office has done and what Zach has done in their time here, and you know, I'm a small part of that, and you know, I'm excited to be a part of that. And we have great people in the locker room that grind every day, that you know, are excited to go and showcase their talents and excited to do it in the city of Cincinnati. You know, we have the best fans, and so this is where I want to be.
There was concern around getting this done before the season opener on Sunday. The Bengals get it done with plenty of time to spare, a few days before they play the Browns. And this team does have real Super Bowl hopes, so locking up Joe certainly lets you breathe a sigh of relief before the season starts. Okay, this is only part of the story. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? All of Cincinnati is celebrating tonight about their quarterback. Chancellor Wynn joins us live downtown with more. Hey, Chance.
Jeremy, we are here at Paycor Stadium. As you can see, it says welcome to the jungle, but this is an area where fans have been coming throughout training camp and for practices to watch Joe Burrow take the field alongside of the other Bengals players. But now they're going to be able to watch Joe Burrow for at least 5 to 7 more years here. But of course, fans ecstatic to find out and to hear the news. We were actually in our Fox 19 car when I received a Twitter alert from Adam Schefter stating that Joe Burrow had signed that contract. I looked up and there was a man wearing a Joe Burrow Bengals jersey. Of course, jumped right out the car, had to talk to him. He had yet to hear the news, but he says he has been a lifelong Bengals fan, and he says that Joe Burrow is more than just a fantastic quarterback, but he is also a leader and one of the best leaders that he could think to lead his team.
Oh my gosh, it's been just unbelievable. He is the man. He knows how to go on and tolerate them. He knows how to speak to people. He knows how to be gentle with people.
Still watching some Joe Burrow highlights here, but it's the fans that say they're also a little bit skeptical or worried, I should say, about the additional players like T. Higgins coming up or possibly Jamar Chase in a couple of years. But right now, the focal point and the focus is on Joe Burrow's mega contract extension. For now, reporting live from Paycor, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 19 Now.
Chance looks like a saint.
Oh. I know.
It's like glowing.
But I mean, he said there, I mean, it is a mega contract.
It is. It's, you know, and initially when we saw other quarterbacks getting paid, I thought it might be 5 years, $265 million. Mm-hmm. It's more than that. It's $275. It's $219 million guaranteed. And this guarantees that Joe Burrow is the most important athlete, not only in Cincinnati, but one of the most important athletes in all of sports right now, getting this kind of money. Guys, what this does for Bengals fans, having him signed through 2029, is it guarantees a winner. This is a quarterback who said, the entire championship window is my career.
Yeah.
Who views himself as one of the best in the game and believes he can deliver a championship to Cincinnati. You're watching at home right now and you're wondering, is it worth it? Is the money worth it? If Joe Burrow goes and wins Cincinnati its first ever Lombardi, if it happens this year, you're going to wish they paid him everything they could have because it's certainly worth it for them.
And the one thing that he's going to do, is he's surrounding himself with great players.
Yeah.
It's happening now. It's going to happen in the future because everybody's going to want to play with him, and they do already.
In his first 2 full seasons here in Cincinnati, he's led the Bengals to a Super Bowl and then back to an AFC Championship game. He truly is a game changer. The defense has been great, but what Joe Burrow delivers, that confidence, that swag, there's not a price for that. And certainly, Bengals fans get to enjoy that now for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So this is a story we're going to continue to cover very closely. If anything else happens, we got it covered both on air and online 24/7 at fox19.com.
The weather this weekend looks good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it does. It's still kind of humid out there now. The shower activity has come to an end. We might see a few pop-up sprinkles tomorrow afternoon, but other than that, things look really good for the weekend. 67 out there right now. There are a number of thin spots in the cloud cover, and that is an impact on the potential for fog tomorrow morning. Temperatures right now in the upper 60s, a few spots around 70, and there you see almost nothing left of the sprinkly shower activity we had earlier. Now, this is model output, brand new model output, showing that visibility may drop to a half mile in Connorsville, 4/10 of a mile in Brookville, Lebanon, and Wilmington. So we're looking at the possibility for a few patches of dense fog, generalized fog around the tri-state tomorrow morning, with temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Looks like a cool start to the day. Patchy fog in the tri-state. Other than that, no problems for drivers. We'll talk more about tomorrow evening's forecast and the weekend in just a few minutes.
New tonight, police just left the scene of a shooting in Elmwood Place in Winton Hills.
Cincinnati police say 2 people were shot. District 5 officers found 2 men with gunshot wounds near Dutch Colony and Holland Drives. Police at the scene told Fox 19 that an 18-year-old was shot in the wrist and a 25-year-old shot in the shoulder. Both injuries are non-life-threatening. They say the 25-year-old drove his vehicle away from the scene after it happened. Not clear what led up to the shooting, and police haven't arrested a soul. They are still investigating.
A mother is facing charges after her 3-year-old daughter was found alone in a parking lot. Newly released body camera video shows police responding to a 911 call about a toddler. The man who reported it says he was at the Nepali grocery store on Wild Branch Road Tuesday when he saw a little girl following him. He tried to find her parents, but called 911 when he couldn't find them. A man who found the girl says he just wanted to help.
I was just kidding, yeah. I was just kidding. Maybe they think that I'm just taking the kid from the home or from the market or something like that, but I'm not like that. My request to the parents is we need to be careful about the kids and don't leave them anywhere. Don't lose them like animals.
Fairfield police arrested the girl's mother, Donavia Norvo. Police reports show that she has an existing warrant for an incident on April 6th where police say the child was found alone in the same parking lot. She's in the Butler County Jail tonight.
The mother of 3 children and their paternal great-grandmother are facing charges tonight.
Yeah, this comes after investigators say the children were found on the verge of starving to death.
Yeah, that's according to the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office.
Kendall Hyde has the latest.
Now, those kids never saw the light of day. Like, they were, like, ghost white because they've never seen sun since they were born.
We're hearing from neighbors of Hannah and Diana Johnson after they were indicted on child endangerment charges.
So you would actually see those kids, am I correct?
In the window. I've seen them a couple times. Yes.
What would they be doing? Would they wave at you or anything?
No, they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't say anything. Tell me it was kind of awkward in the window. Like, they wouldn't talk. They wouldn't say anything. They would see me, though. But even though I waved, it would never be, like, no emotion at all.
Amy Clausen with the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office tells Fox 19 Hannah and her 3 kids, along with Diana, all live together in the home on Halsey Avenue. Cincinnati police responded to Johnson's home for reports of a suspicious odor. Officers said they never saw the kids and were told that the odor came from a dead raccoon underneath the porch, so they left.
The cop had told my husband that one of the kids was being starved. And that surprised me because I see her take groceries in all the time.
Prosecutors say the next day, Hannah took her 3 kids, ages 7, 6, and 4, to her mother's home in Tennessee. That's where the mother noticed that the kids looked a little bit too skinny and rushed them to the hospital. Prosecutors say that all the kids weighed under 30 pounds and were so malnourished that they nearly starved to death.
We got to do better to protect these kids at the end of the day. We got to protect them.
Thursday, a grand jury not only indicted Hannah, but also Diana, who prosecutors say is the paternal grandmother of the kids, who is also facing 3 counts of child endangerment.
I just wish, when her husband died, I just wish she would have asked for help, because we were here for her, and we were like, I always told her if she needed anything, let me know, so.
Hannah Johnson is also facing 3 counts of kidnapping. Prosecutors say the 3 children will be in the hospital for months as they recover. New tonight, a teenager accused of killing his newborn son will be tried as an adult.
According to our partners at the Enquirer, a judge made that ruling today.
Yukani was 18 days old when he was found unresponsive last September. He was rushed to the hospital where he died 40 days later. His father, 18-year-old Kamaine Kelvinbridge, is charged with murder, felonious assault, and child endangering. He says the baby choked on milk and stopped breathing. But prosecutors say doctors determined a neck injury and brain trauma caused the boy's death.
Lakota school buses will be rolling again starting tomorrow morning. That comes after the union voted to end that week-long strike earlier today. What's it mean? So we're told 86% of the membership voted in favor of the deal. Bill Davis is the president of the Teamsters Local 100 and says both sides made some important concessions, including a decision on cameras. He says the union never wanted them removed from buses, only for language in the deal to be changed as far as how those recordings were going to be used.
They can look at any video any time of the day if they want to, but they can only use it to coach and to bring people in and try and make them better drivers for the lesser offenses. We were never wanting to get somebody, keep somebody out of harm's way who did something heinous.
Davis says from the beginning, one of the things that all sides agreed upon was the safety of the kids. Lakota Schools says that they're going to be sending out an email to families today. They did that, thanking everybody for all the continued support.
We're staying on top of some breaking, exciting news tonight. We learned that Joe Burrow and the Bengals have agreed to a 5-year, $275 million extension. That's according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. The deal will make Burrow the highest paid player in the NFL. Our team coverage continues right here on Fox 19 Now.
Plus, a local radio legend is battling ALS right now. How he is going to fight on behalf of other people with that disease as well.
And the newest model run's beginning to kick out a little bit of fog for the morning commute. We'll talk about that in more detail coming up.
Fox 19 Now sponsored by JakeSweeney.com, the Tri-State's most trusted automotive name for over 100 years. Now Tricia Mackey, Rob Williams, Chief Meteorologist Steve Horsemeyer, and Jeremy Rao with sports. You're watching Fox 19 Now.
Can I pull a Vanna White here?
Oh, I know.
It's a done deal.
Totally done.
Yeah, we continue to follow this breaking news because it is a done deal and it is big time between the Bengals and their star quarterback, Joe Burrow.
Yet tonight we learned that they have agreed to a 5-year, $275 million extension. That's according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. We should say this, $219 million of that contract, guaranteed money.
Fantastic. So Chancellor Nguyen's been monitoring social media for reaction tonight. So Chancellor, what have people been saying?
Well, Rob, Tricia, one of my most favorite things to do is to jump on social media following a big news event like this one. Joe Burrow signing that major, mega contract extension. And we're seeing some happy, some fun, some exciting types of tweets. I want you to take a look at some of the ones that we have now. Now, one of these tweets is from Odds Shark, and they're having a little bit of fun about when this extension was announced. You can see it's got a picture of Kanye West after he took that microphone from Taylor Swift, but this is making fun of the idea of when this contract extension was announced. We also have Elsie James saying Joe Burrow has completely changed the way people view the Bengals, from league executives to the casual fans. The transformation the Bengals have undergone has been remarkable to see. Congrats to all sides of getting this deal done. Then we have another bit of a fun thing, because we always see the Macaulay Culkin, Joe Burrow comparisons here in Fox Sports NFL, having a bit of fun about Joe Burrow being in a limo just like Macaulay Culkin was. Quentin Spain, he's a familiar face for Bengals fans. He was on that Super Bowl run that the Bengals had, tweeting congrats, Joe Burrow, well deserved. And then finally, Kay Adams with another bit of humor about when that extension was announced, because it was right after the Kansas City and the Detroit Lions kicked off for the opener of the NFL season here. Now, we do have a few more days until the Bengals take the field on Sunday, but I guarantee you that Joe Burrow is going to remain trending on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call that new site now. But that's really what we've been seeing for the last 3 or so hours. And of course, fans here in the Tri-State are just as excited. But we're going to continue to monitor all this social media reaction and Bengals fans' reaction throughout here in the Tri-State. For now, reporting live from Paycor, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 18 Now.
Thanks, Chancellor. More info now that's new. A Hamilton County grand jury has indicted a man accused of killing a local mother. Lance Miller is facing charges including aggravated murder, felonious assault, kidnapping, and abduction. Right now, he's locked up in Tennessee, but he's going to be moved to the Hamilton County Jail next week. Investigators say Miller shot Lynch in her car in Westwood, took off August 18th. They tracked his car to Tennessee and found her dead inside. He was arrested after a police chase, and if he's convicted of all of those charges, he's facing life in prison with no parole.
Cincinnati radio legend Jim Scott recently announced on social media that he has been diagnosed with ALS. He says he was diagnosed with ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, on April Fool's Day 2021. Scott retired in 2015 after a 55-year career and has been a brand ambassador for Kroger and Grippos. He's also raised money for the Salvation Army and March of Dimes, and now he'll be part of the walk to defeat ALS on September 17th at Winton Woods Park.
And I thought, are you kidding me? I said something else. I said, it's April 1st. I just came from the Friendly Market opening day. It's Reds opening day, and you're telling me you think I've got a disease named after a ball player. I said, that's bizarre.
Scott says if he doesn't use the platform, he has to help others with ALS. It wouldn't be right. He says he'll give it his best when he does the walk to defeat it.
2023 Harvest Home Fair is underway. Kicked off tonight with the Harvest Home Parade. The event continues through Sunday. A bunch of different events and activities for the whole family. The 4-H Youth Fair is happening tomorrow. All of the rides, there's games, there's vendors, lots of food. Bronson Arroyo's band is going to be playing. Yeah, it's all opening tomorrow at 5. Started off tonight. Good times.
Weather's going to be nice for that?
Yes, it looks good, not only tomorrow, but right on through the weekend.
Good deal.
So that's nice. Of course, that's like the biggest parade in Cincinnati.
Huge. People start lining up their chairs like earlier in the week.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then people have like family spots that have been that way for generations.
Yep.
67 degrees right now. We're looking at downtown Cincinnati. Notice you can see a few lower clouds in there. So it is kind of a humid early or late evening, I should say. And the humidity will stay fairly high but drop off a little bit as we head toward dawn. But there's enough humidity out there that we might see some fog. Upper 60s to lower 70s out there right now. You can see what's left of the shower activity. Notice how it just dies out as it heads to the south. And here's what the latest model run has been showing about fog developing. Now, it takes about a quarter-mile visibility to have a major impact on traffic in the morning. And the model is not saying that any of these locations that it's got the numbers that the visibility will drop to a quarter mile. So Wilmington, Lebanon, Brookville, Connorsville, half a mile, maybe 4/10 of a mile. But you see the red areas in here, some of those definitely showing, the red is showing that quarter mile visibility. So we could see some low visibility up in our northern counties. It seems like it'll stay north of the Cincinnati area, but overall be ready that it may slow traffic down just a little bit as you head out the door tomorrow morning. Temperatures upper 50s to lower 60s, and up here where the cooler temperatures are, that's where that fog is expected. As we head through the day, a few pop-up sprinkly showers may develop. You can see them every once in a while there. And as we head into evening, there'll be a few pop-up showers like like these in Wilmington, this Claremont County, a few other spots may see one of those brief light showers, but they're really small. They won't even be enough to cause puddles, and they'll move on pretty quickly, and that leaves us with a nice evening to be outside. 7 a.m., 62 degrees. The sun's up at 7:13. Here's your 7-day forecast. What we're looking at is this. A low tonight at 61, a high tomorrow 76. 59 and 78 Saturday, 60 and 80 on Sunday. All 3 days the Reds are in town. Then they head out of town for a long road trip. And Friday, if you're going to Fireworks Friday at a Great American Ballpark, great evening for that. 73 as the game begins. 68 as the game ends and the fireworks begin, and then we are looking at nice weather throughout the evening hours. That includes high school football, of course, which is in full swing now around the tri-state. As we head into Monday, another nice day with high of 82 and mostly sunny. Tuesday and Wednesday, we have the chance for a few hit-and-miss showers, not a washout, but more rain possible during the day on Wednesday, and actually that's a good thing. We do need the rainfall. And then on Thursday, we're talking about a mostly sunny day, the high temperature right around that 74-degree mark. So the humidity stays low throughout the 7-day forecast. The weather stays comfortable, and there's just not much rain coming our way. And the weekend looks dry and very nice for whatever you're going to do out of doors. Of course, you can always track it using the First Alert Weather app.
Okay, we're staying on top of this. Exciting news tonight. Done deal with Joe Burrow. These are the details according to ESPN's Adam Schefter tonight. 5 years extension, $275 million, making him the highest paid player in the NFL.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are about to cement their place in history. We'll tell you what's next for the Heroes in a Half show.
Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know that, right? Today, they placed their handprints in the cement at the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. Those cement pieces were shaped like pizza slices, by the way.
Because they love pizza, right? They're also known for their movies in theaters now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem.
Jeremy, are your kids into that?
No, we're not a Ninja Turtle household. And I'm just curious now, what's bigger news? That or the Chiefs just losing to the Lions?
Did they just lose? I saw that they weren't doing that well.
Just lost the Lions 21-20. So
All right, so was there
forget the
anything
Ninja Turtles.
was there anything to the timing of dropping the Burrow bomb
Yes, it's
right
all-
at kickoff?
The NFL scripted. They knew that the Chiefs were going to lose tonight. So.
Yeah, I like it.
There you go.
What a great night for Bengals fans and for Joe Burrow. What about Browns fans? Why every single one of them is big mad at Jamar Chase right now. It's next.
Fox 19 Now Sports, sponsored by OrthoSensei Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the orthopedic authority.
An exclamation point, not just for all of Cincinnati, but Jamar Chase. That is what Jamar posted on X tonight to celebrate Joe Burrow's new deal. If the window is Joe Burrow's career, like he says, the window of opportunity in Cincinnati just grew big time. The Bengals do play a football game on Sunday. So much of the attention has been on the calf and the contract. We can finally get back to real football. Joe Burrow has been full go at practice 2 straight days. He is going to play on Sunday. Everyone else looks good as well outside of Joseph Osai and that ankle. What about the recent history against the Browns. 2 wins the last 10 games for Cincinnati. Jamar Chase must know that.
It feel like a regular game to me. It don't feel no different. I mean, it's just the hooping and hollering about Cleveland Browns. I was about to call them the Elves, but yeah.
Are you tired of all the talk about Cleveland and how tough it's been for this team?
I don't really hear it. If you ask me, I don't really pay attention to it because Cleveland is Cleveland. I look forward to the matchup that we have when we're facing them, but other than that, I don't really be caring.
Do you think the elf logo is silly?
It's funny. It's just different, I guess.
Oh, Jamar. Yes, it matters to him. You can tell. By the way, if you didn't hear it, the Chiefs lost tonight. So, Pat, though, 1 seed is clear. Bengals haven't won in Cleveland, as I told you in a while. A chance for Joe Burrow to let that new contract, shine on Sunday. Big-time soccer game in the UCC. Unbeaten Turpin on the road at Milford. First half, first blood. Kyle Suter. Caught the keeper sleeping. Turpin takes a 1-0 lead. Spartans still on it here. Great ball to Griffin Jones. Mr. Jones and me. Net gains. Turpin up 2-0. Milford answers. Asher Tomsick using his head. But Milford couldn't get another. Turpin still unbeaten as they win 2-1 tonight.
What is Joe Burrow doing right now?
What is he thinking? You know what I mean?
I think he went, he just went in a room and just threw a bunch of money on the floor. What is it, like blank check, and just started swimming in it.
Well,
I bet he went to Ruby's and ate a big fat
He probably
steak or
did. Got
something.
steak burrow tonight. Yeah,
I don't
why
know.
not?
I think he just did a big sigh and said, now I can play the game and not worry.
I don't know.
It's what's different is he was already rich, right?
Yeah, I was.
Now it's like a different stratosphere.
We have intern Noah, who's great. I was walking to the studio and I said, my job is basically to go on TV and tell people I don't have as much money as the people I cover.
Yeah.
That's my job description, is to tell you that I'm poor and Joe Burrow's rich.
I'll take you one step lower than that. You are training the intern to take your job one day.
Yes.
Hey, Noah.
Put yourself out
Right?
off. That does it for us.
Have a great
We'll see you
night.
tomorrow.
Keeping you informed anytime, anywhere, everywhere. Fox 19 Now is sponsored by Tank. Beat the high cost of parking and nonstop traffic and catch a ride to all downtown Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky's biggest events. Visit tankbus.org for route information.